Hi guys, Ronnie here and welcome to the workshop. Today I want to show you two brand new time trial wheels, front and the rear, although from different brands, that I think would be top contenders for the 2026 season, and I ordered them specifically to verify their performance. So let's start with the front wheel, logically. This is the Aerocoach Thunderbolt, which is one of their two new releases. Being the Bolt with a 60mm rim depth, this is the Thunderbolt with the 90, which is the higher performance option, although with maybe a bit more crosswind steer. And Aerocoach promise, according to their own data, this should be the fastest Trispoke wheel or generally front wheel on the market right now. In the past we didn't really use Trispoke wheels for rim brake bikes. They didn't test very well, although that's changed a bit with the arrival of disc brakes, where we found that Trispokes are indeed potentially very fast on a lot of setups, including my own. So now I'm really keen to test this new one out, which promises to be better than all of them. Performance is kind of a holistic thing, so that's why Aerocoach also decided to optimize these front wheels for the best tires that are on the market right now. And the one they really like is the Vittoria Corsa Pro Speed, which indeed in terms of rolling resistance is the best one. However, we found in our own testing that in the real world, in outdoor aero tests and velodrome aero tests, unfortunately, it doesn't really perform as well as expected, and I really tend to stick to the Continental TTTRs, which often are faster as an overall package, at least in the setups that I have tested. So anyway, we'll of course do both. Now this one is primarily designed for a 28mm Corsa Speed, which is in practice as wide as a 25mm Conti. So it's kind of a close comparison, although I don't really like a too wide front tire on the front, obviously for the purpose of preventing flow separation at the rim. The rim itself is really quite wide to suit these new modern tires, so the internal rim width is 28mm, the external goes all the way to around 30, with a 90mm depth, as I said. Weight is really respectable, coming in at 900 grams for the front, which is really competitive. Obviously this is not a super lightweight climbing wheel, it's not supposed to be. The main purpose here is the aerodynamics. Another thing that I'm really curious to see is the crosswind performance of this wheel. Mainly because the Trispokes we have tested proved a very good CDA reduction, but some of them were particularly prone to crosswinds, mainly with lighter riders like myself, so definitely not an option for windy days, although Aerocoach say that they do have that in consideration when designing this wheel, and also from experience I can tell that their other offerings really perform well in crosswinds and don't generate a lot of wind steer, so I'm really hoping that this one delivers on that front as well. As for the construction, it's a constant section 90mm rim with the width as discussed. We have 3 spokes, obviously with again constant depths throughout the length and a smoothened tangential junction. The carbon weave is this kind of wide spread toe, I think it is called. So it's a really high-end material and a really high-end manufacturing process. Overall, the finish and build quality is really high and definitely an improvement on previous Aerocoach products. So I'm really happy with that. And despite all of these changes, the price is really competitive and almost half basically of other high-end offerings from Princeton and Evolve and stuff like that. So yeah, all good on paper. They obviously also have their own hub construction, which as a DT style design with the floating axle, taking care of the axial preload of the bearings. I'm really hoping that is well calculated, unlike on some other wheels where this causes binding or being not preloaded enough. Yeah, so here it seems to be properly designed. Hopefully it will work inside a bicycle as well in the real world. The bearings are also spaced relatively widely because this section of the hub protrudes, and the bearing sits somewhere here, so you get a wider bracing angle, unlike the Princeton wheel, for example, where you really have to keep an eye on your front bearings because you have this aero flange and the bearings sit all the way here at a really narrow spacing angle. So this one is better for stiffness and durability for sure, although because of this you can't really make this into an arrow shaped flange, so this is regular round shape. Yeah, really nice looking wheel overall. The logos and graphics are just decals, so you can remove them or customize them if you will. That's also a plus in my book. The rotor interface, of course, is a standard center lock, so everything that you would expect. The wheel came with tubeless tape pre-installed. Obviously it is tubeless ready, although I have to say the installation wasn't really great and the tape was peeling already. For that reason I removed it altogether. And to be honest, I don't really see why this wheel needs rim tape, any rim tape at all, because obviously there are no spoke holes, and from what I can see the rim bed is really nicely finished. There are no imperfections or places where the air could possibly leak. So yeah, I would just probably test to fit the tire without the tape on it. Another cool thing is the hidden valve, and this definitely isn't solved on the other tri-spokes on the market. So yeah, with wide spokes like this, of course there's the potential of hiding the valve inside like you would on a disc wheel. And here it's doubly clever because you've got this carbon cover attached by Velcro, which is the same material as the base of the rim itself, and attaches in a very flush way and sits firmly in there. So easy to remove, easy to install, no stickers needed, and it perfectly follows the curvature of the rim. So yeah, thumbs up for that design, really, really nice. So that is the front wheel I wanted to show you today. Now let's have a look at the rear, which arguably is just as exciting. So here we go. This is the Scope Artech disc, released a while ago, but actually this is the first time we were able to get the first units of our pre-order, and this one is already set up for our customer. So in short, the Scope Artech is kind of a premium range of the manufacturer based in Netherlands. We have already been using their road wheels, which are exquisite in many of our builds, and this is their renewed Tantral offering, featuring all the technology from those wheels. As a result, this is the lightest, or at least as far as I know, lightest disc wheel on the market, coming in at around 860 to 890 grams, so that's ridiculously light. Normally these go between 1000 and 1100 grams. That's a big saving there, but of course the crucial thing here is the aero performance. We have yet to verify that, but judging from the results of the other Scope Artech series wheels, it will be market leading most likely. We have the aeroscale technology throughout, mainly around the external diameter of the rim. Curiously, it doesn't go all the way inside, so I'm pretty sure there's some reasoning behind that. So this is what they use on all of their Artech range wheels, and it aids the energization of the boundary layer and helps flow attachment, which I think is particularly helpful on a large surface like this one. Maybe that's also why it's not needed all the way through, because you energize the boundary layer here, and then here you already have enough small vortices in there to keep it attached all the way. But that's just speculation anyway, I'm not an aerodynamics expert. So yeah, that's the wheel in all its glory. Here we already have it fitted with a 25mm TTTR Conti tire, which, as I said previously, is my tire of choice. The wheel itself does use a lenticular shape, more so on the non-drive side, of course, but it's not as dramatic as other wheel designs I have seen, or in fact not very dramatic at all. It's really quite close to flat. What we have on there is a 6-wheel titanium cassette already, and the carbon TI aero disc rotor, so really this is a best of the best build specification. We also have ceramic speed bearings inside for that extra marginal gain, and yeah, really beautiful looking wheel. The rim width here is 23mm internally, which gives us a nice shape with this particular tire, so that's a big plus, of course. And here we have another neat valve closure system. So this is a carbon plate with 2 little springs glued to it, also made of carbon, and you just put it in place and twist it. It locks together like that. Also has the exact same shaping. You've got a perfect seamless transition here without any stickers again. Perhaps even neater than the Velcro system from Aerocoach. But here it's easy to do because this is closer to a flat surface. And then you can remove it by plugging something into this hole and just twisting it back. Yeah, so that's more or less the scope Artech disc. It does use the same ratchet as the other Artech wheels. My only gripe with it is that it's really loud. Probably not for everyone, particularly pronounced by the fact that this is a disc wheel, so you basically get a speaker out of this. So it will be an interesting phenomenon on the road for sure, but it's a really well thought out ratchet, very windmill drag, and has hardened steel drive rings inside, so it's going to last a huge amount and it's going to be reliable. In fact, we also retrofit this very same system to the problematic Princeton rear discs, so yeah, it is that good. As is the rest of the wheel, to be honest, and basically all of the products that Scope makes. So unfortunately, this one is not mine. It's going straight to the customer who has been waiting for months for it, and it looks like we'll be waiting some more for our own stock units and test units. But yeah, it looks like it definitely will be worth it. So yeah, if you want top performing wheels for the next time trial bike or triathlon bike build, then I think these ones definitely you shouldn't miss. Yeah, that's all for today. Thanks for watching and see you next time. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below, and of course we'll be happy to supply these for you if you have the need.